Namaskar and welcome. Last video, I talked about the benefits of imagining the divine consciousness as something very small. And I've had some reflections and some time to practice that in my own meditation since that time. And so I wanted to share a few kind of updates on that idea. So what I've been doing in my meditation, and maybe I'm a kind of spiritual nerd, but in one of our discourses, our Guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti, or in many of his discourses, he said, you should always feel that you are being witnessed, and that this is by the Supreme Consciousness, and that this is the secret of both meditation, and you should think that way also during the day when you're not meditating. And I found that this idea of the cosmic consciousness being very small, and if you try to connect that with the idea of being witness, they somehow work very well together. And I'm going to come back to that later. But first of all, I want to take a few sentences from three different discourses that touch on this topic, and then I will tie them together. So the first one is this. This universe is a finite island, a very small island in an ocean of infinity. The expressed portion of Parama Purus'a, the Supreme Consciousness, is just like a point, and the unexpressed portion is bigger than an ocean. So it's saying that the universe, although very big, is very small compared to infinity. The universe is an expressed form of Parama Purus'a, and the unexpressed form is what the expressed form comes out of. So the universe comes into existence or comes into expression out of the unexpressed nirguna state. The next quote says this: the subject of today's discourse is unit spirit and cosmic spirit. Here, I did not use the words universal spirit, I used the words cosmic spirit, because our universe is very big, but it is not infinite. That is why I did not use the words universal spirit. The spirit of the supreme cognitive faculty is a cosmic one. All right, so this spirit that we are feeling is coming from beyond the universe. And the universe is made of 5 fundamental factors. They are created in the cosmic imagination or cosmic chitta. So anything composed of the 5 elements is limited. So space is one of the 5 elements, and space is something finite. So when we think of something infinite, we cannot think of it in terms of space, which is what we tend to do, because space itself is one of the 5 elements, and it is finite. All of the 5 elements are finite. The universe, which exists in space, is finite. So the idea of thinking of something then is kind of correct, which is very small, or which can't be measured in terms of space. Thinking of the Supreme Consciousness as something infinite in terms of space, that's impossible, because space itself is finite. All right? Okay. So, the third quote, the Mahatattva and Aham Tattva, or the I am and the I do sections of the cosmic mind, are infinite. That is to say, the cosmic mind is infinite. Is the cosmic chitta, that is the imagination portion of the cosmic mind, the crudest manifestation of the cosmic mind, finite or infinite. And later in the same discourse, it gives the answer. This present expressed universe is limited, however vast it may be. But although the manifestations of the cosmic mind stuff are limited, the chitta entity is not limited. Okay, so it's saying that the cosmic imagination, the objects which the cosmic mind imagines, for example, the universe, are limited, but the cosmic imagination itself is infinite. So an infinite entity can think of something finite, but space, which we tend to think of when we think of something big taking up a lot of space, is something finite and something which occurs within the cosmic imagination. So the point I'm trying to get at is that the cosmic imagination doesn't take up any physical space, and yet it is capable of thinking of something physically vast like the universe. Okay? So here's this universe. It's vast. It's huge, right? And yet it is an imagined object. It is occurring as the internal imagination of the cosmic mind, which doesn't take up any space at all. Okay? So this is the kind of challenging and exciting, I think, disconnect. So something that doesn't take up any space at all is capable of imagining something which is the vast size of the universe. And to put that even a little bit more bluntly, this vast, huge universe exists inside something which doesn't take up any space at all. And in fact, infinity, in a sense, can't be described in terms of space. Infinity doesn't take up space, right? So that's a hard idea because we're so used to thinking in terms of the physical world. Infinity doesn't take up space. Infinity is beyond time, beyond space. Now, just to give you to bring that within the realm of your own experience, if I ask you to close your eyes and imagine two gigantic galaxies crashing into each other, gigantic explosions and, a huge display of light and fire and everything. You can do that. You can, maybe not perfectly, but you can imagine these two giant galaxies crashing into each other. And similarly, if I ask you to imagine picking up two fairly heavy blocks of iron, feeling their solidity, maybe even a little bit cold to the touch. And then I ask you to, in your imagination, crash these two pieces of iron together and hear the sound and feel the vibration in your hands and feel the weight of it and feel the sense of crashing. You can do all that. So you can have these very, very physical sensations and feelings just in your imagination. And you can have this huge conception of space in your imagination. And you can do all that, and you're just a human being with a very small brain. And that imagination, where does it exist? Does it take up any physical space? No. Your own mental imagination doesn't exist anywhere in space. It doesn't take up any physical space, and yet it is perfectly capable of imagining huge constellations crashing into each other and various other. It is capable of imagining vast expanses of space. So, if your tiny human mind which doesn't take up any space at all, is capable of doing all that. Imagine what the cosmic mind is capable of without taking up any space at all. So this immensely powerful cosmic consciousness, which doesn't exist anywhere in time and space, is capable of imagining vast universes, and that only takes up a tiny portion of that, of the cosmic chitta, the cosmic imagination. So this small, as it says here, the universe is a finite island, a very small island in an ocean of infinity. All right? So infinity doesn't take up space. It's beyond time and space. Time and space come out of infinity, come out of the infinite cosmic mind. Now, let's put that together in our meditation. You imagine that the cosmic consciousness is witnessing you. From where? Right? Not from over there, not from behind you, which would be a little bit creepy if it was from behind you or from anywhere else. No, it's witnessing from beyond space and time. And that's where I think understanding that, feeling that all of what is being imagined, myself, I'm being witnessed, this whole universe is being witnessed, my thoughts are being imagined, everyone's thoughts are being imagined. The divine entity is imagining, is creating and thinking all of this, all right? So the divine entity is thinking all of our thoughts, and it's thinking it where? From heaven in some, million miles over there, from behind, in front, or anywhere? No, none of those places. From beyond any physical existence, from some space that doesn't take up any place at all. So when I put those things together in my meditation, the feeling of being witnessed, being imagined, that my thoughts are coming, and everyone's thoughts are coming from the Supreme Consciousness, and that those thoughts are coming from somewhere that doesn't exist in time and space, coming from a mind that doesn't take up any physical space, somehow that really has an impact on me, and I really feel something special in my meditation. So, apologies if that is just out in the realm of spiritual nerdiness and not of any practical application for you, but for me it's exciting, and I'm actually feeling that bringing a change in my meditation. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. So, to kind of make it a little bit more simple, when you meditate, think about being witnessed, but also at the same time think that the entity that is witnessing you doesn't take up any space, doesn't exist in time or space. Try that once, twice, a couple of times. Think it over. Try it in your meditation and see what happens. I would be very interested to hear if anyone gets the same kind of powerful and blissful effect that it does for me when I'm doing my meditation. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Until the next video. Namaskar.